Saturday Social is powered by EA Sports FIFA 23 with PlayStation.
There's only one place to start. England against France, 7 o'clock tonight. The Saturday Social whiteboard is out in all of its glory. So we're going to get the guests to pick a classic combined 11. The rules are very simple. They can pick any one in the current England squad or current France squad. And it's what it says on the tin, really. You've got to pick the best 11 players. We want you to agree on it, but if there's any disagreement, me and Joe will decide. And we'll try and take our biased England's hats off and be as honest as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should start, though, before we get into the 11. How are you feeling about the game? Because it is a monster, isn't it?
It's massive. I'm nervous, you know. I'm certainly nervous going into it. I don't think... It's not going to be an enjoyable watch. I think back to when, like, the last one, probably, obviously watching the Italy game and when we played, like, Colombia, like, just that feeling of... I don't know. It's almost like pain, isn't it? It's like footballing pain.
You can't think of anything else.
No.
It's like butterflies.
Yeah.
It's like you just are so excited, but you're like, oh my God, I don't want it to actually come because then this could actually be over.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, part of me is thinking that this is going to go well for us. I don't know why. Probably just...
I like the confidence, though.
I like the confidence.
I can't even tell you where this confidence is coming from. It's probably just mad. But probably because of what we've seen so far in this tournament. There's been so many underdog stories, and I think we are obviously the underdog in this story. And I don't know. I just think that maybe it could go extra time, could go to penalties. Back
Not
Pickford.
penalties, please.
I don't
not
back
penalties.
Lloris in a penalty shootout, but I back Pickford. You must not either. You're a Spurs fan.
I think the two top keepers. I think the thought of a penalty shootout, regardless of the outcome, is just something England fans, I just think, creates a lot of nerves, doesn't it?
Stress.
So in an ideal world, Abs, I'd like us to do the business in 90 minutes. But I'm quite confident, mate.
Yeah,
I'm quite confident.
The chat about keepers there leads us perfectly onto the combined 11, doesn't it? Should we start with goalkeepers then? You've got to pick between Pickford and Hugo Lloris.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Combined 11, best 11, don't forget. Who you going
I
with?
think we're on the same wavelength here for keeper. I think we both want Pickford. We like Lloris. I like Tottenham. So I do like Hugo, and I'd be happy to have him. But for me, I really like Jordan Pickford. Now, I had a chat with Joe. I think Pickford would get in genuinely any side in the Prem. I think he's super criminally underrated.
That is some claim.
Any side in the Prem.
Over Alisson?
No, I'm saying obviously Alisson is better, right? But I'm saying you could put him in any side and he would do a job. I know obviously Alisson's a better goalkeeper, but
any side in the Premier League.
Honestly, I think he'd do a job. I think he's so criminally underrated. Like, he saved Everton a lot last season, a lot. And for England, he does always turn up. You think that Senegal game, if that... Obviously, I don't debate whether he saved that one-on-one as well, and that save he did make. Those are two chances. It's a totally different game if those go in.
Well, he does make a good point about for England. He does never let England down, does he? 23 clean sheets in 49 caps for England. We saw him save 2 penalties in the final, of course, which I think goes a bit unnoticed because England lost that shootout. Made some big saves in big tournaments. So you're going Pickford. Who are you going with? I'm intrigued to know this because obviously you're an England and a Spurs fan, so you've got mixed allegiances here.
But do you know what?
You're going to upset someone.
I'm going to upset Spurs fans because I'm just not blinded. I've based my picks today off of what I've seen in the tournament, not being biased or anything like that. So for me, I would go with Pickford. I think he's been flawless for England since he came into it. And arguably, he's actually got a lot of competition. I think Ramsdale is a very good number 2 that's there.
Nick Pope as well having a good season.
Yeah, Nick Pope, and he's keeping them both out. And he's always been great for England, and I can't really fault him. He's always good with his feet, shot stopping. I back him, like I said earlier, in a shootout. We've seen what he could do in that Colombia game. And, you know, Lloris, maybe it's the Spurs in me, but he's not at the peak anymore. I think he can always drop one in the back of the net. I do.
OK, full agreement then. Let's get him on the board.
Pickford up.
Interestingly, on Lloris, he's equal caps with Lilian-Thuram, 142 caps. So will overtake Lilian-Thuram tonight as France's most cap player of all time. So let's move on to... should we go right back next?
Right back next.
Interesting one, this.
I think there's only one man for right back, and I think that's Kyle Walker. I think you could debate... best right back in the world, debate it. I think he's up there. I mean, I normally get a lot of stick because obviously a lot of people want James, a lot of people want Trent, but I think even if all 3 were available, I still want to play Walker there. I just think it's that pace, reliability. I think he's just solid. I think that's what you need, like, in that position. I know nowadays everyone likes a bit of a creative fullback, and I know you can get that with, like, Trent, a bit more of a sort of the passing and such. But I just think if you just want a solid, does the job. And obviously, most importantly, we've got to keep Mbappe at bay, and I think he's the man. I think he's the man for that.
Can he do that tonight, do you think?
I think he can, but you're going to have to see the very best version of Kyle Walker. Like, switched on, using his brain throughout the whole 90 minutes. And also not getting too tight to Mbappe either. I think it's going to be a really big showing for him. But if anyone's going to do it, I back him to do it.
Yeah.
He was my pick.
Is he in your team as well?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I did kind of... He was a late one that I kind of changed.
Oh, OK.
He was, because I was basing it on this tournament, and I think Jules Koundé's been really good in that position, taking over from Pavard as well.
Yeah.
Been really seamless. But I have backed him because he's always, again, been really good for England, and I'm basing that on what I've seen in the past few tournaments. And he's been really good. He can play in that kind of 3 as well. The recoveries he does, he's been really pivotal at times in doing that.
I think that's a good point. One of his best attributes is his recovery pace, isn't he? And obviously Mbappe is absolutely rapid. I was looking at the sprint stats. Actually, he's actually had the 8th quickest sprint time individually. I love my Mbappe, sorry.
Yeah.
But it's how many times he's done that. And I think Kyle Walker, one of his biggest attributes is his recovery pace.
But it's a big narrative, though, isn't it? It's a big narrative. Like, I feel like it's really been played up to the nth degree.
It has, isn't it? Did you hear what Kyle Walker said as well? It's not a game of tennis. There are other players playing. It's like everyone's been built up that it's just the Kyle Walker versus Mbappe. There are other players playing, but it's total agreement. So let's
get Kyle Walker up and
move on to the. Should we do the centre backs?
Where's
together?
that going? That's surely left back over there.
Hey,
right?
sorry,
Come on,
I was going for
never built an 11 here. What's going on here?
Should we do the centre backs as a pair?
Yeah.
Together?
I think centre backs is a pair because there is disagreement here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So I think I've gone for 1 England, 1 France personally.
Okay.
So I'm taking John Stones, but I think I actually want Stones over everyone. Like, Stones is my number 1. He has to go in there, in my opinion.
Best centre back combined for you.
Yeah. I want Stones in there. I don't know. Yeah, but yes, only because I just think he's a player that is underrated. Like, he's so good for Man City. Like, everyone obviously raves about Ruben Dias, but I think he's also good on the ball. And when he plays for England, he is solid. I know Maguire's solid when he plays for England. Just Maguire makes me nervous. Like, there was a few moments in Senegal. Like, he's been good. Like, and I'm happy to have Stones and Maguire play. It's just, you know, when the ball gets like sort of stuck under his feet and stuff, and it makes me. I don't know. It gives me nerves. So
you're going Stones and who?
Varane would be the one I'd take from France.
I'm going to take Varane, and I'm going to go with Meccano as well.
Oh,
and
that's a double act.
Listen, it's harsh. I know it's really harsh on Maguire and Stones because, again, for England, they've always been really solid. They've always been really good. However, I think they've just formed like such a formidable partnership. And if I was to have a choice and an option of what 2 I would feel more comfortable with in my if I could have them for England, I'd pick them. And I think we all know Varane's a great defender. I think he's kind of like a Rolls Royce. I know he hasn't always been for Manchester United, but I think for France he always has been. And Upamecano, he just looks really solid. He's improved so much, I think, domestically, especially this season for Bayern as well. So for me, that's my pick. But I'm not against what you're saying.
You both agree on Varane then?
We're both on Varane.
Yeah,
OK, let's put Varane up. You said Rolls Royce, exactly that. 90 caps, 5 goals for France, World Cup winner, playing his 3rd World Cup as well. So you both agree on him. So we need some
decision to be made between Stones and Upamecano here.
Yeah. I think Stones is better than I like Koundé, Upamecano, and Varane. I like all 3. I think all the centre back.
They do play on the same side though. Stones and Varane do play in the same role, don't they?
What I'm saying is I would personally I want Stones. I would then have the 3 French centre backs and then Maguire. I'd take all 3 of them over Maguire, but I still think Stones is the best option out of anyone available. And I know people will disagree.
How are we going to agree
that.
on this then? Which one of you is happy to concede?
I don't mind conceding because there's other people I want to push more for. So I don't mind.
Okay,
I'll take that. Right.
I don't mind taking the early goal.
absolutely delighted
I'm very
with that
happy.
decision.
John has to go in there. There we go. Look how happy he is. Look, he's buzzing. Hopefully he's like that.
It's a strange
tonight.
formation. It's sort of tilting a bit, isn't it?
Ski slope, isn't it, already?
I think this is quite heavily England biased.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we've got 4 England shirts on here, so far it's a 3-1 mix.
The French viewers are fuming here.
Yeah.
Get a French scarf on Joe in the advert.
Yeah, I know. All right, left back.
We differed.
Yeah, we have differed again here, yeah.
Go on, Abby, let's go with you
first. I went with Luke Shaw.
Okay.
I promise you it does get way more French after this.
Yeah, it's significantly English so far.
It is significantly. I did go with Luke Shaw because, again, he's always been really reliable for England, had an amazing Euros, continued that form on. He just kind of gets the job done. He's really good actually being progressive with the ball, but also being really good defensively. He's kind of like a full package that just goes under the radar for me in this England side.
Okay.
And he's done nothing wrong for me to actually question him. And I understand the Hernandez thing.
Yeah.
He technically wasn't even meant to be playing.
He's on the edge of his seat. He's actually moved further forward to get his... Come on, explain your reason then.
I was shocked. I thought this was going to be like the strongest, almost like with Walker. I thought this is like the lock. I thought Hernandez is
for you,
Yeah, I
Hernandez
think so.
nailed on
I
it.
like Luke Shaw. I think for England, he's a quality left back. But I think any day of the week, I'm putting Hernandez in there. Like any day of the week. But I'm willing to. I'll let you have Shaw if you like, just for another England player on there.
Who conceded last time with the?
Abbi,
but then we
did,
are.
so
I
I'm happy
conceded
to-
last
We are at a
time.
4-1 split.
But I still don't. Right, I just don't understand. I feel we'll get shot down here if Hernandez isn't on the ball.
I think Hernandez
will.
is. Yeah,
I feel like Pi has to have Hernandez in his team where he's going to get very upset. For
I
the
just
remainder
do
of the
It
show.
is right. I think my opinions get so badly shot down anyway. If Hernandez isn't there, it'll be even worse.
I think Teo Hernandez.
Okay.
Let's put Teo Hernandez and move into the
stick him
midfield.
on.
I'm not against it, but then I feel like I should have not done that. Maybe I've been too nice to you.
I think you have been too nice, but let's go Teo Hernandez. Let's go into the
on then.
midfield.
Yeah, we'll put
I think
Teo
it was-
Hernandez up.
I think you're very harsh on Luke Shaw. What's
I love Luke Shaw. I'm a
done to
United
upset
fan.
you?
I'm a United fan, but for me, Teo Hernandez is just.
I think
next level.
you made a good point. Did have a brilliant Euros, and I think sometimes a lot of club form people forget actually how good they are in an England shirt. And he epitomises, like Harry Maguire does, someone who always plays well for England. Euros, he was fantastic. I just think the competition. Teo Hernandez is a superb player as well. So I don't think it's any disadvantage on the player that's not there. But Pi is sticking with Hernandez, so let's stick him up. And we'll move on
Abby's
to
move
on to the DM because I think there's a bit of
thank you.
disagreement on the DM.
Yes.
Are we sticking the left back up?
No, I
or
will do. Yeah, I've got to
got
find him.
find
I've got to find him.
Okay, Abby. Whilst Pi is finding Hernandez,
I'm finding.
who's your DM?
I've gone with like an interesting midfield, to be fair.
Go on.
Because my formation and Pi's formation was a little bit different.
Oh dear, look
That'll
at
do.
that.
That
Is terrible. That is slanting.
Is that Joe hates this. And
No,
it's
I
not
know, it's so bad. I'm so sorry. That is so bad. That is so bad.
I mean, yeah, the form. It's
What are we talking about in midfield then?
Go on.
Midfield, I've gone with Tchouaméni for me. He has just been outstanding. You look at the fact that there was no Pogba, there was no Kante. Everyone thought that midfield was going to be so weak. He has been the anchor for that French midfield. And he's so young. He's been playing with so much maturity. And I felt like I couldn't not put him in there. I think he's got to give credit where it's due.
Agree or disagree?
I do think he is a baller, but it depends on the formation. If we're playing 4-2-3-1, I still think Rice and Bellingham are the better pairing.
So you wouldn't have any French midfielders in there?
If it's two, I think Rice and Bellingham. I did originally say Bellingham and Tchouaméni, but I changed it to Bellingham and Rice. I think Rice is better. I think Rice is better now. I think Tchouaméni's got the potential and he is a baller, but I think as a footballer right now, I think Declan Rice is better.
But even though Tchouaméni, playing at Real Madrid.
Yeah, genuinely.
In the Champions League at a higher level.
No,
than
he
Rice.
is. I still think right now Rice is a better footballer, and that's not even with England bias. Because I initially did put Tchouaméni down, but after some thought and consideration,
I think we need to work out what formation we're playing because that'll affect whether you've got another midfielder or you've got attackers. So let's agree on the formation first, so that
I was a 4-3-3. That's what
Are
I
you a
went with.
4-3-3?
well, if we go 4-3-3, then can we go Tchouaméni, Rice, and Bellingham? Would that be the midfield three?
It's a potential
Already
option.
bended already.
But who else do you want in the middle?
I think Griezmann's having an unbelievable
So
tournament.
who's your three? Sorry, at the minute, your three is.
My three is Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Griezmann.
So have you got Bellingham in there?
Yeah.
So Bellingham can go on the board.
Yeah.
If we're
Bellingham.
if we're
A lot.
definite locked on Bellingham, we
locked
should chat
in.
about Bellingham as well while we're on him because at
just-
19 I've never seen it like
He's just
it.
unbelievable. I mean, he's like a complete box-to-box midfield. He's like Gerrard, but like even better than
At
Gerrard.
his age as well, what he's doing is
He's
incredible.
just a joke. I mean, his strength, the balance, the maturity, he's just so good. And like you watch him, and I'm like, come to Tottenham, please.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
Do you think he could win Player of the Tournament? If England go far in this tournament, bearing in mind the consistency he's had, I know that there'll be cameras everywhere on Lionel Messi. There was last night, and he's been brilliant. I know there's Mbappe's been great. But if England go far, do you think he could be Player of the Tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, he's up there already with it. So far, obviously, you got Mbappe, Bruno Fernandes, I think, also up there. But he's so good. At his age, he is so good. It's unreal how good he is. Just everything he does in the middle of the park. He's so complete.
I can't believe how
19
much of a leader he is at 19 when he's driving the team forward, chasing everything down. He just leaves nothing.
Even the
home,
way he
does everything on the
communicates
pitch.
with senior players for a young player is very mature for his age. The way he speaks off camera, you look at him, you just don't think he's 19, do you? You just think he's and the way he plays and communicates. But he's on the board because you both agree. So we need the next two. Was there another name that you agreed with?
Well, I do agree with Tchouaméni. I think he should be on there. If we're going to play a midfield three, then I'm happy to accept Tchouaméni, but I need to fight for Declan Rice for the other to go in there.
Okay, so if we're happy with Tchouaméni, let's get Tchouaméni on the board. If you're willing.
Go on, do that now.
Yeah, right. We'll put him up there. What side? We'll put him on that side.
Okay, and that leaves one space. Tchouaméni is quite defensive. Bellingham's quite box to box, so we
Yeah.
could have room for an attacking midfielder in here.
Yeah, but right. So
has no one mentioned Griezmann yet?
That's my shout.
Has he not been player of the tournament so far? Right?
That was my midfield. He's been unbelievable,
Yeah.
and he's also playing that little bit of a deeper role for France as well in that midfield. And it's a lot of discipline, and he's not someone that's usually a disciplined player that you would associate with it, but he's done that job for them as well in that midfield, helped out Tchouaméni as well. And not only that, he kind of gives you an option to attack and turn it from deep and bring it forward.
The other thing is, with the injuries that France have had, very no choice. If you look at the system that they play, I think he is so important to that system. There's a lot of talk about Mbappe because he is unbelievable, one of the best players in the world, without doubt. But for the system they play, he never doesn't play Griezmann. I think he scored. How many has he scored now? I think I'm right in saying he's third on their all-time list. Yeah, Giroud and Thierry Henry, the only two with more. 114 caps, 42 goals in the position he plays. But he's not in your team.
No, because it's pain now. So, but we're saying because we've already put Tchouaméni up there. If we were to play Griezmann, Tchouaméni would be the more defensive of the three. See, and I think Rice is better in that position as the holding player. But if we're having Tchouaméni, then I'll have to admit to Griezmann.
I think Griezmann. I think for me, Griezmann has maybe been player of the tournament so far, alongside Mbappe.
You can put it on your side if you want. Pop it up there.
Yeah, I think take the England bias off. For me, Griezmann has to be in the team. I think it's a notable shout for Declan Rice, who's been so important for England. We played him all tournament games in the Southgate. Fantastic player. Probably quite harsh. He doesn't make it, but they are three top players. So shall we?
Forward line. Two of them surely we're both.
Literally right.
We can put up early doors.
Yeah, which is obvious, which is Mbappe and Kane.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is now this is what changes things, because originally I had it as like a 4-2-3-1. And now
it's very similar to a 4-2-3-1, though.
Yeah, but the thing is
we're going Mbappe through the middle.
Sorry, yeah. Mbappe on the wing, Mbappe on the wing.
He's putting these magnets anywhere, Joe.
Yeah. I get excited. Once I get the magnet, I get excited.
You do, don't you? You really enjoy this.
No, I do. I love it. But the problem is I wanted to play Dembele and Foden, which is why I wanted to play 4-2-3-1, because I wanted to play Mbappe and Dembele on the sides, Foden in the hole, and then Kane up front. That's what I wanted to play. But I can't play that now.
No. Just quickly, Mbappe and Kane are two for you.
Mbappe and Kane were two for me.
Maybe two for you, yeah.
Nailed on.
Okay, so
I think Kane's performance in this tournament maybe gone a bit underrated.
Massively,
given that I know he hasn't scored the goals, but I feel like he's actually played better at this tournament than when he was top scorer at 2018.
I also think the criticism, which I don't quite understand, is that he was the Golden Boot winner the last tournament. People were saying he wasn't contributing to the team, but he scored more goals. Now he's contributing more goals and assists combined than any other England player with 4, and it's like, well, he's not scoring enough goals.
He
can't win either way.
He can never win.
His performances as a 10 at dropping in, I think, have been superb. The way that
so we've got one spot left between Saka, Dembele, Foden. Any other names you want to put forward?
It hurts me because I really wanted to put Dembele up there, but for me it has to be Foden. If there's only one space available, I think it's got to be Phil.
I will also agree Foden.
But I think Dembele is so good, though. Dembele is so dangerous. Obviously he's always injured, but...
Do you think he's gone under the radar as to who could hurt England?
Yeah, 100%. I think he's quick as well, isn't he? Obviously all the spotlight's on Mbappe, but a fit Dembele, like in their initial game, in their opening game, he looked really dangerous. And against Poland.
So who do you want?
Foden is who I have to go for.
Foden for me.
Yes.
Because when I look at a team sheet, especially for England, and I see that he's not in it, I think, why? Like, he should be one of the first names. He's so instrumental, I think, to the way England play. And especially having him on the left, that's where he's strongest. You see that for City as well. And he can be a creator. He stretches the defence. He finds space for other people. Yeah. And I think he's just one of the best young talents in the world.
He is one of the names as well that I know what you mean. All England fans, it's that Foden factor. I think you had it with Grealish in the last one, but every fan seems to on social media want Foden to play every game, don't they?
I just think he's outstanding. I think you see the impact he has when he is in the side and when he isn't in the side. And for me, he's a very integral part of that England team. And I think that we miss him when he's not in it or he's left out.
What a front three that is, although Kane, Foden and Mbappe.
6-5 split then. 6-5 split, and now we can do the manager. Deschamps versus Southgate.
I think it's easy, isn't it? Is it not easy? Is it not Deschamps, straight up?
Pie's massive, Southgate out.
The thing is, I'm not Southgate out. Right, this is the thing.
Okay.
No, I'm not Southgate out. Right, I know.
Positivity. You're not playing tonight. Come on, get me on the team.
I am positive, and I'd rather have egg on my face and him do well than look like an idiot. I'll happily do that and him do well. But... Right, it annoys me when people say, "Oh, he's achieved so much." We've won nothing. We literally have won nothing. The group stages. I mean, come on, anyone should be able to
But
take
in terms
England.
of historically, he's obviously got England to a World Cup semi-final, a Euros final. Do you not give him credit for that? And a lot of England managers haven't got anywhere near that.
I know he has, but I think that also annoys me though when people say, oh, well, he's done better than the That still doesn't mean he's doing a good job. I mean, he's doing all right, but...
Abbi, your thoughts?
Come on,
I'm
Abbi.
waiting to come up for air.
No, but sorry, I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about it.
I see the point on Deschamps. You can't question it. He's won the World Cup as a player and a manager. There's not many people you could say have done that.
Only 3 people have.
There we go. He's in very good esteem. However, it hasn't all been plain sailing for France. You know, 2016 they lost the final, similar position that we were in the Euros. They went out in the 16 in the Euros last year, Switzerland. So I'm not taking that away from him. I just think that Southgate, and I love that you're smiling because you agree, Southgate gets way too much stick. I think the culture that he's created in England, something that we did not have before, even in that golden generation, they never achieved anything because the culture was so bad. You know, and ex-players have come out and said that, like, there were cliques, it just wasn't a togetherness. He's made a whole new culture. It's made you excited to watch England. And what he's achieved in that 6-year period, a semi-final and a final, I'm not saying that there hasn't been times where he might have been too reactive instead of proactive with substitutions, or maybe he's kept the handbrake on, been pragmatic, and we know how annoying that is with Conte ball. It can be frustrating when you've got the talent there. But I think you've got to put some credit on his name because we were not even talking about England being anywhere near this level of quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals prior to 6 years ago. And I think what he's built, he should be commended for. And he might not have won anything yet.
Well said. I think that sums up the debate, doesn't it? But I think he's doing a great job. But we need a decision very quickly.
I'll go Southgate. Why not?
It's got.
Go on, put
do you know what?
Southgate on.
Only because I want us to win today. I'll do it. Look, all right.
The YouTube comments have literally just exploded.
Yeah, I'm caving. I'm only caving because this is the thing. I'd rather look like an idiot and we win. I'd rather he wins it all. And
So you've changed your mind?
Well, no, I've not changed my mind. But what I'm saying is that I'm going for pure passion in the fact that I just care that we win more than my opinion.
You're going back heart versus head.
Absolutely.
There we go. And he stuck the magnet on to end it just as he started. And look at the state of that board. But that is their combined 11.